A senior Trump official has said about 500 of the more than 2,300 children separated from their families have been reunited at the border since May. But there are still hundreds of kids separated from their parents, and it's unclear what will happen to them. There are concerns about the long-term impact of this ordeal and what it will have on kids, whether they will ever be reunited with their families. Joining me with more is founder of Bellissimo Law Group, Mario Bellissimo. Welcome back.
Good morning.
So this is a tough story, and we do have a statement from the American Academy of Pediatrics. It reads, quote, "This type of prolonged exposure to serious stress is known as toxic stress. It can carry lifelong consequences for children." Mario, what are some of these long-term consequences?
Well, we see it every day in our practice, the consequences of separation, even for a short period, let alone 51 days or more with what we're seeing here. You have everything from stunted physical, emotional, intellectual development, chronic inflammation that can lead to heart disease, that can lead to cancers, stress disorders that lead to suicidal ideations. It's devastating.
That blows my mind that it's not just kids that are scared. There are physical consequences of this too.
Absolutely. I mean, some people are referring to it as state-sanctioned child abuse. I mean, Nelson Mandela once said that the keenest revelation of society's soul is their treatment of its children. And here, the treatment is just so egregious and the consequences are lasting. And what's interesting about these situations is you never know what child is in one of those areas of detention, what they were meant to be, what society might have lost by stunting some child's development, what they may have benefited to society.
There have been reports that 1,500 children have already been lost track of in these border separations, and they might not ever see their parents again. Have you encountered separations, permanent separations in your work?
Absolutely. It can happen, and the worst scenarios are when children are trafficked, never to be reunited, or if they are to be reunited, the child that comes back requires years and years of therapy to even get close to where they once were. It's a dark side. It's not often discussed, but it is a reality in North America.
And this is a reality that then we're not just dealing with today, we're dealing with for decades, because these children, like you said, they function very differently in society as they become adults.
Absolutely, and you know, to think that this could have been avoidable or not absolutely necessary is what is going to be, I think, a horrible legacy for these few months. And reuniting these children will not be an easy exercise. Children have been taken thousands of miles away. You hear about reports of a baby being ripped away from a mom, nursing to be told the mom, oh, it's just being taken for a bath, and then not have the baby returned. I mean, this is incredible that it would happen anywhere in the world, but in particular North America.
It's not only the children that we're seeing, but we're also seeing the impact that this is having on potential criminals that are trying to cross the border. So you've said by targeting everyone, we're actually missing the opportunity to perhaps get the quote-unquote bad guys that we really want to get who are crossing the border. Absolutely.
The Obama administration, even though they had a sharp increase of unlawful entries, still prioritized serious criminals. With this policy, serious criminals now are on the same level, so that allows for individuals to further tentacles into society that can lead to consequences, crime, terrorism, other things. And this is not whistleblowing. This is reality. These individuals need to be removed when they've been identified, but resources can only go so far.
What do these kids do later in life? Do they have any legal recourse against what's happening to them now?
Well, you're already seeing, you know, the UN come out and say this is an arbitrary and unlawful interference of family life, serious compromise of children's rights, as well as states are now suing the government, so as this being unconstitutional. So later in life, you can see potential consequences in terms of litigation or other things that may flow from this period of time.
Mario, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.